Welcome back to another episode of the Seattle Sports Show where we love Seattle pro sports. I'm your host, Mikey, and I am here to bring you another Seattle Seahawks 7-round mock draft. From the last one we did, which is just yesterday, nothing has changed for the Seahawks. Nothing, no new players brought in or signed or anything of that nature. So our roster sits the same as it did yesterday. So, I'm still going into this mock with all the same things in mind. But again, you never know the scenario that could be brought out in this particular simulation. So we're just going to start it and see how this thing plays out and see what we get. Oh, oh, oh. Oh boy. Okay. Uh, Philadelphia again, not a bad trade. I do like what Detroit is sending me. They want to swap our 16 for their 29. We also get 61, so we're still at the end of the first round. Then the end of the second round. Then they're giving us their 73. So we get an early mid third round, and then we get pick 249. Towards the end of the very end of the draft there. But I like that just for the idea that we're picking up 3 extra picks in this one while still having a pick at the end of the first round, and 2 of those extra picks that we're getting come in that late second, early-ish third round range that I would love to be in this draft. I don't. The Philadelphia trade looks really good too because we're swapping 16 for 22 and then getting 53. But I don't want to accept that one and then have the other one, not still be available. So I'm going to take that one because I want all those extra picks. Okay, and here we are at pick 29. No trade offers at this point. Okay. Well, with the way this one fell to us, I am going to take Graham Barton again as our first choice. Again, not overdrafting or overpaying at that position that spot in the draft. Not going to accept that trade offer. And now let's see what we got at pick 61 here. Well, at 61, it looks like Cedric Gray is still available. So I'll take Cedric Gray, our linebacker. We are at pick 73. And now Junior Colson still available, so we're taking Junior Colson here. And this one is falling to us pretty easily. I'm not having anything that I'm having too hard of a decision with at this point so far. Don't want to make that trade or that trade because we are at pick 81 here. And let's see here. If I can get another guard, again, this early in the draft here, we've already gotten one. We've already picked up two top linebackers in this draft in my eyes. And now we're picking up 2 good guards, Graham Barton and now Christian Mahogany. Again, that trade with Detroit is really paid off for us in the first 2 rounds here, or 3 rounds, I should say. And now we are at pick 102. And I really like Roger Rosengarten. Again, here's another guy that can come in and be competing for that tackle position out of Washington. And again, another offensive lineman that seems to have been um, jumping up the boards in everybody's eyes over the last couple of months. Watching tape and watching all his athletic testing. So let's get ourselves another offensive lineman here. Okay, here we are, pick 118. Now, we still have 179, 182, 235, 249. Let me see real quick. Okay, I gotta take this one. I still want a safety to compete, and again, just the way Malik Mustafa flies around the field, his size, the way he hits. I want to take him on my team and get him in that Mike McDonald system. That safety linebacker hybrid type of guy. So there we go. We got Malik, and we're getting all the way to pick 179. Okay. 179 here. And okay, now it's making it a little bit tougher for me because I know I already got linebacker and guard positions I needed to take care of. We could be looking at, let's see. Well, okay, so at this point, we're at 179 here. Let's try in this one taking an edge player here a little bit earlier than we have in other ones. And we'll get Zion Tupuala Fatui out of Washington. Again, most of you watching this mock draft, I assume, know who he is, and the background here being out of Washington. So not a lot for me to have to explain to you there, but you know, let's get him into the Seahawks. So let's have him stay in Seattle and see how well he can take advantage of Mike McDonald's system with the type of player he is. Okay, we're at 192 here, and again, because of the tight ends that we already have on this roster, let's see. Well, let's go ahead here and let's take Hunter Norzad here, the center out of Penn State. Again, somebody mentioned in a comment that they'd like to see more competition at center, because again, we are at this point having we've only brought somebody in that's been primarily a backup throughout their career, and then we are at this point it'd be looking like we are relying on a second year player to take over the starting job. I do think Oluwatimi is a very good center from what we saw at Michigan, but yeah, we haven't seen him do it a lot at the pro level. So yeah, let's bring somebody in the draft here to compete at that spot, whether they make the starting job or the or the backup job. All right. And then here we go, pick 235. We're going to go with uh hmm let's see. Well, I am going to go with tight end McCallum Castles. Oh, they only have his height and weight here, but again, out of Tennessee, another solid tight end. That's going to be depth, right? At that point, that's just one of your depth players. Bring him in this late in the draft, and um, see what he can do. And then we're going to be our next pick, 249, that last pick that we got from Detroit. And let me see here, scrolling through. Again, I don't know why they have him listed so low in the rankings, but I will take Anthony Gold out of Oregon State here. Again, yeah, just bringing anybody in to compete. Somebody mentioned about D. Eskridge, and yeah, I don't love that we restructured his contract and we're keeping him another year. You might as well move off of him. And I think Anthony Gold would be the type of guy that once you bring in and you see what he does, uh, I bet based on what we've seen out of D. Eskridge so far at the NFL level for 3 years now, I would think Anthony Gold could come in and beat him. But we'll see. In this mock, here we go. This was a pretty quick one because again we went into this one with the same mindset already. Didn't get as many trade offers at the top of the draft as we have in the last couple of ones. But so there wasn't a lot of change in thinking and not just trade offers flying left and right. So got through it quick, and we ended up with Graham Barton still as our overall top pick. Then two linebackers in a row: Cedric Gray out of North Carolina and Junior Colson out of Michigan. Two linebackers that I think are going to be, really good coming out of this draft. We get another guard that I think is going to be really good, Christian Mahogany out of Boston College. And again, we're not overpaying and overdrafting at the position. And because of the depth that there is at the offensive line in this draft, that I think that's why we do want to be trading back and possibly even be trading out of the first round if we can, if we're the Seahawks in real life when we get to the draft, because we want to get more picks in those middle rounds where you are getting the best value for those guards and centers, right, and competing at that spot, because generally that's where guards and centers goes. We all know left tackles and right tackles fly off the board in the first round. You might get a guard or two or a center later in the first round, but generally those guys that are more purely going to play the guard or center positions usually don't get drafted as high. There's a couple that might this year, like a Jackson Power Johnson, but that's usually not typical. So those first four picks again, I thought worked out really well for us. Getting Roger Rosengarten again to come in here and compete. We still don't know what's going on with Abraham Lucas for sure. Fant is going to be your utility guy. Can Rosengarten come in and compete to shore up one side of the line so that George Fant could focus on whatever side he ends up on. Malik Mustafa again a safety that I've loved throughout this draft process. We took Zion out of Washington at pick 179. Again, just trying to take, instead of just taking a edge player at the end of the draft as like we normally have done, trying to take one a little bit earlier to add some more depth to our defensive line, and a player that I feel like has been underrated a little bit. I think overall a lot of, I mean, as much as we see, it looks like Roma Dunze is going to be a top 10 pick for sure, possibly possibly top 5 pick. We are even with somebody at the top like that, as a whole, I think a lot of Washington players have been kind of undervalued in the draft. I mean, you've heard people talking about Michael Penix, dropping all the way out of the first 3 rounds. Some people talking that way, which I just do not get at all. I'm more of the mindset what Rich Eisen said. I think that was yesterday or the day before yesterday. But yeah, I mean, if I'm I'm with Rich Eisen. Like, Penix is the a type of guy that you would think he should be a top 10 pick. So, yeah, in general, I think the way Washington players in general are being talked about, it's kind of underrated. Hunter Nazard, center out of Penn State, again, getting a depth piece and player to come in and have competition there. McCallan Castles, at that point, yeah, he's going to be the same type of situation where you're bringing him in to compete for a depth spot, and Anthony Gold, you're having him compete right away with D. Eskridge to see if you really need to keep Eskridge around, or if you can just totally replace him with a younger player on a new 4-year contract that's going to be even cheaper than what Eskridge is, and then you'd have that type of dynamic weapon around for 4 years. All right, so there you go. There is this mock draft. Let me know what you think of this one. Give me those grades: A, B, C, D, F. Let me know if there's anything that you would have done differently, which picks you do like, and if you just overall looking at the entire thing, would you like that if the Seahawks found themselves in that type of situation? All right, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave those comments. If you're listening on a podcast version, please hit follow and subscribe, whether you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, and hit that 5-star rating and a written review, because that stuff helps the show grow. And there you go. That is the end of this one. So, sorry. So, thanks for listening to the Seattle Sports Show, where we watch legends awaken. So take cover, because with this sea of sound, you will see us rise to reign supreme and win forever.